Hey guys, and welcome to this week's episode of Whoscussion. We're going to be covering The Woman Who Fell to Earth, the first episode in Series 11/Season 37. I'm probably going to be calling it Season 37 here on out.
Wait, Series 11? What?
Yeah, Series 11? No, oh yuck, they call it Season 11 on places. I'm like, no, Season 11 was Tom Baker's first season, alright?
Yes, it was.
Oh no, Season 12 was Tom Baker's first season. It was John Pertwee's last. Yeah.
There you go.
We're going to be covering the Lost Sontaran? I don't know where I'm going with that. The Last Sontaran.
The writing was lost.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. My dad's still out there. I am a human.
The last Sontaran.
He's not the last Sontaran.
Of the ones that came to Earth before.
Exactly. For part B, we're going to be covering the Satanic Mill because they can get away with names like that in Big Finish, and finishing it up with Dust Breeding, which is a 7th Doctor and Ace story, which I can't wait to get into. The Woman Who Fell to Earth. Harriet Skelly, take us away.
I mean, are you going to do any of the other introductions? You know? Like,
oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Harriet Skelly's here. It's your boy, Harriet Skelly. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And the Late Crow. I woke up 10 minutes before needing to do this. I'm so sorry, guys. And the Late Crow from Automation Studios here on YouTube. Late Crow, tell us a bit about Automation Studios. I'm so sorry, Late Crow.
Oh, that's okay. I was probably going to worm my way into saying something when I talk later anyway, but no, I create various short films and sketches and what have you which I put on YouTube. And currently, I'm very, very, very close to completing an audio drama starring that fabulous That Random Guy.
I'm actually so excited. I play 3 characters.
If I can get my A into G, that should drop before next week's Whoscussion. So yes.
Oh my gosh, we've got something to plug. I'm looking forward to that. So, with introductions out of the way, finally, The Woman Who Fell to Earth. Harriet Skelly.
Okay, so this starts off awful, so we won't start with that.
Yeah, it was so bad.
When we get into so I don't even want to do like a proper synopsis for this because I feel like that gives some people some more time to.
It's been a whole week.
It has been a whole week, but there's some people who will still wait for it. And
okay, guys, pause Whoscussion right here.
No, and then come back. There's also people who watch Whoscussion who don't really care about. Who wouldn't really care about the new stuff because it's kind of, it's never been good before. But basically, what I want to say first off is it is actually all right. You should watch it. But I also feel like the reason why I don't want to do a real full-on synopsis is because I feel like we should change it up a little bit sometimes. I'm with you on that. Yeah, we'll just basically state the story beats. Basically, we meet up with all of the new friends, as BBC have decided to call it. Which I mean,
because Companion is un-PC.
I don't know what that's about. I feel like it's because the idea of the Companion was always the one. That it's been like that for a while, even though it's not that it wasn't that originally.
No, he had a team pretty much the whole run except for 6 and 7.
Yeah, but I guess the current idea of the Companion is just one. So calling it more than that's fine. But whatever, I don't really.
The 11 walked in and was like, "I'm the one," and then that's what he did.
We'll get to that. So we got the introduction to the 3 companions that we know of. But we also get introduced to one of his grandparents, which is...
You had to go there first, thanks.
Which is where Graham comes in, as he's his step-grandfather, I guess, in this sort of way. They have there's an interesting relationship. But anyway, so we get introduced to them in their own little ways. So we get introduced to the first 2 in a bicycle accident, I guess. Which it's an interesting thing for his character to have.
Yeah, and one of my closest friends actually suffers from this. She still to this day can't ride a bike, and she's still.
Yeah. It's just interesting, like the thing that they get up to, just story wise. Anyway, point of it is that's basically the beginning of this is just introductions to these characters and how they work, and it works pretty well. Obviously, because we already know who the Doctor is, we don't need to go from there. But at the same time, it's very Rose sort of deal, but because it's not just one annoying person, it's fine. We like it.
Rose wasn't a person; she was a caricature of what a human being might be.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so we also get some alien stuff going on. First off, there's like the random yellow triangles in the sky, and then there's the really cold pod thing. And then we get some more introduction stuff happening, and then finally the Doctor crashes down onto a train. Just in the middle of this, which I guess is just the Doctor's deal, and it's, we've had it explained many times before. That's basically because the TARDIS just puts her or him wherever she feels like. So I guess that's kind of fair. But anyway, she's not quite herself yet, as many regenerations go. So we have a whole lot of exposition about what the alien is. It's like this, like it's the bad guy from MIB 2, basically, but without the transformation sequence. It's just a big ball of tentacles, and it's fantastic. We go from there into a guy who's picked up the icebox one and taken it home, and then we have a sequence where a whole lot of people seem to not understand what was being said, but I completely understood. I don't get it.
And I wasn't the only one. And looking online, I certainly wasn't the only one. That scene, the audio mixing is horrible for just that scene, and I couldn't understand a single word that was being. It was the only time the whole episode I couldn't understand. But that one scene, it was like, oh, mean, cool, all right. My wife turns to me and goes, "What did they say?" And I was like, "I don't know, baby. Just keep watching."
I will say I watched that episode twice. Once because I watched with the flatmates on the TV, and then once on my computer screen wearing headphones. I could only understand that scene with headphones. I couldn't understand it watching on the telly.
Yeah, absolutely. It was yeah.
I pretty much always watch it with headphones, so I get proper audio. But anyway, there was also like other things online about people not being able to understand the accents in general for a lot of the Northerners, and it's like it's not that bad. I've seen worse on television. But anyway, so this guy, it gets explained later that his sister got taken by aliens, and he got crazy about it basically, and didn't join the FBI. But
that's crazy.
Just decided to create an entire algorithm that monitors the weather patterns, try and find the one that happens at the same time. Anyway, it's not really a good point to point at.
Yeah, he's really a throwaway character, and I felt too much time was spent on him.
Yeah, there was a lot of time that was spent on him that was not necessary, but it was just sort of an explanation as to what happened with him, and it basically is an explanation as to why they're in a mechanics bay. But even then, that doesn't really explain it, because if he managed to develop an algorithm that could monitor all of the could pick up all that sort of stuff, then he's kind of a genius, and probably wouldn't be working at a mechanic. But anyway, so they're there.
Wouldn't he have joined UNIT? If that would be the easiest way for him to find his sister again.
You'd kind of think so. But anyway. So they're there at the mechanics place, and there's this weird segment of events where the Doctor creates her sonic screwdriver. We'll get into that in a second.
Yeah, it's not good.
But basically, she just melts down some spoons. She steals some alien technology and puts it together, and it's kind of like. Feel like the sonic screwdriver is a bit more technical than that, but we'll get to that. So we get explained that they've all got bombs attached to their collarbones that apparently disintegrate their genetic code.
It's the weakest aspect of the story for me.
Yeah, I don't understand why that is necessary. They could have just been bombs that blow you up. That's enough to kill a person. Anyway, so we basically find out that there's two alien presences here. Or at least it seems like they're two separate alien presences. One is this guy that we could have sort of get revealed-ish in like background stuff, which is like just a cold guy, basically, it seems like. He's just randomly killing people. And then when they find the tentacle monster, he shows up and gives some exposition, which is also another weak part of the story, but we'll get to that as well. Where he's from the predator race, but for some reason isn't a predator, and needs to.
Yeah, he's from the blue makeup on the face race.
Yeah, I love those guys. Just they're everywhere. So he needs to take one specific human from Earth back to his homeworld so he can be crowned king. Even though they've conquered 9 galaxies, so there's no reason for them to just come to Earth. But anyway, he also has to take the teeth of every person he's conquered. He's got a lot of teeth in his face, but I don't imagine that many other alien races would have teeth. But I guess thanks to the wrestle, I'm probably sure they probably do actually. So never mind.
Yeah, I feel like New Who's taken that too far.
They really have. But anyway, he's also is just a man in face paint with teeth stuck into his face with gelatin, and really he should have just been made out of teeth. But we'll get there. And the Doctor, I feel like this is like too. I don't know whether it's Chibnall like fighting internally with himself, or if somebody at BBC told him he needed to do this and he's taking the piss out of it. Where the Doctor mispronounces his name and just calls him Tim Shaw instead, and I'm just like, that's fantastic. The Doctor should do this more often.
Yeah, I love how she just throws in the towel and she's like, your name is Tim Shaw. Yeah, and like even the confrontation, like the last final like throwdown between the two, she's like, Tim Shaw. He's like, dude, that's not my name.
It's so good. Anyway, So they don't try to fight him. They just let him do his business, and basically, have a fusion moment with the tentacle monster. Hentai, I know. Anyway, they just,
oh man, this is a family show.
Did you have to
he teleports away, trying to find his prey, because he's basically been using the tentacle thing to cheat, because he's meant to come in with no weapons or anything and hunt down this human, but he sent the tentacle thing first to cheat, and blow up witnesses and all this sort of stuff, whatever. We'll get to that in a second as well. There's just a few little bits and pieces that really kind of let the team down. But anyway, the target works in at the docks, I guess. Yeah, with big cranes and stuff. So he teleports over there, and he's coming in to kill him, or to catch him, basically, and randomly kills his boss for no reason, but whatever. It's going to get him.
My wife got so sad when the old man died. Just he was just talking to his granddaughter. No.
Yeah. he was actually a really good character, and they just set it up that it was really sad that he died. But yeah. Anyway, we'll continue. So the Doctor and gang show up. To save him. Basically, they're not letting this go down. The Doctor's really not happy about anyone dying. It's funny. Anyway, she comes up with a plan to get him to jump across one crane to another, so that so they can get him away. The tentacle monster powers down the other crane, so they can't pull it all the way. There's like a spooky, scary moment where the Doctor jumps from crane to crane, and you're like, of course she made it. Come on. Why is this suspenseful at all? Anyway.
I like the reverse shot though, when the boy tries to jump over and the guy grabs him. I was that was sick, man. That was sick. I loved it.
Yeah, that was actually suspenseful. But the one when she jumps over, I don't know.
Yeah, because she's a superpowered alien with heightened senses. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so she gets up there. She's basically like, "Hey, look, I've got your teleporter. You can't get home because I'm just going to blow it up." And he's like, "Well, I'm just going to kill this guy then." And she's just like, "Okay." And then he's like, "You know what? I'll just detonate all those bombs in your necks." And then he goes to do it, and she's just like, "Yeah, I kind of put them all back in a year. So, whoops."
Which, with the monster being quite clearly inspired by Ouroboros, is great because it ate its own tail.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a bit interesting, really. That the Doctor's just casually just like, this is a deadly weapon. I'm just gonna casually put it back into you instead.
Yeah. Have you met sex?
That's good. It's good. I'm happy about it. Anyway, she saves the day, but unfortunately, the grandmother and Graham decide to continue their assault on the electric eel ball thing, and she zaps it and ends up zapping herself at the same time because of conductivity, and she dies, but not before giving a really good ending speech. Well, I say really good. It's heartfelt, at least.
Yeah, man, Bradley Walsh's acting in that scene.
Yeah,
man. Whoa! Oh my god, he's so good. What's he doing in Modern Who? Holy crap!
It's fantastic that he's here. But anyway, he's definitely going to be the best part of this. But anyway, then we get like a post-credit scene. Effectively, this feels like it's just like really tacked on the end of the episode. But I guess that's because it's the pilot, and not really the pilot, it's the kind of pilot of the series.
Didn't we have that last season? Hey, thanks, Stephen Moore.
where they're trying to get everything back in after the story elements, and so we get the Doctor doing a dress-up sequence. We get a funeral sequence, and then we get her saying, "Hey, the TARDIS is gone, so I'm going to need to teleport over." And then, of course, she does. She totally teleports everybody into outer space. And there you go. That's it.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
That's basically the gist of it. But still, obviously, watch it.
Yeah.
It's kind of more than the gist of it. It's kind of more like 70% of it. But hey,
I'm going to
need to watch it.
Yeah,
There's
I agree.
A lot of stuff that's accept.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab the Late Crow's thoughts, come back for Harriet Skelly's, and then wrap us up for this episode and move on to the last Sontaran. Yay. So, the Late Crow, your thoughts on the woman who fell to Earth?
Yeah, it was pretty decent. I mean, I think with New Who we've come to expect average at best. So it was kind of nice. It was nice to see something that, I mean, it wasn't like holy moly, this is like amazing, but it was definitely better than average. So that's nice. It's nice to come to New Who and get that. The opening shot sucks. Like actual
awful, so bad.
Balls.
Don't ever start a brand new run of a show with that. Don't do it.
Hell no, never start with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with a YouTube clip. Guys, it's Love and Monsters. As soon as I saw this, I freaked out. I was like, no, not Love and Monsters, please. And
then it cut away and you're like, oh, thank God. Ideally, don't do it at all.
Hang on a second, Harris, you were gonna interject there?
Yeah, putting vlog stuff in Doctor Who just brings back bad memories.
Yeah. It's never been handled well. Don't try to do it. So, Crow.
just don't do it. But apart from that shot, I reckon like the cinematography was on point.
Oh my god, the color grading, right? Oh my god.
Just that scene immediately after the terrible shot on the cliff with I was like, oh, that's beautiful. I love it. I want to go to Sheffield now. Let's go. But it was good. There were a couple of beats in the story, not beats, moments in the story that annoyed me. I think in the final confrontation, I think there were just one too many mini speeches about how change is good.
Oh, I hated it, right? Oh, it was too preachy. It was dumb because like we've followed Doctor Who for nearly 60 years now. We get it. The Doctor changes. Obviously, there's some fans who didn't get it. This alien is an alien and therefore needs to just be human. That was a real thing people were thinking.
And the thing was, the rest of that speech immediately before and immediately after that little couple of sentences were really good, but that just really felt out of place. Yeah, it's just like almost from it's almost like someone took a line from a different scene and inserted it into that one.
Does anybody else feel like all of Jodie's dialogue was out of place?
Not all.
I feel like there are a lot of bits and pieces that were added for that benefit, for the BBC's benefit more than anything else. Like just the she's his fam.
Yeah, I feel her dialogue was really weak. It was the weakest part of the whole character dynamic for me.
There was just a whole lot of stuff that wasn't necessary.
Yeah,
and the thing is that like I know for a fact that she'll grow on me, but I don't know if this is just like because I'm getting older. Like I'm getting old, so I can't handle new doctors anymore.
I don't think it's that at all, because like for me, I think Matt was instantly the Doctor straight away. As soon as he was on screen, I was like, he's the new Doctor.
That's the thing.
But I'm saying I just feel like it's not Jodie's fault at all. I feel like Chris didn't write her good dialogue whatsoever.
No, I feel like they spent too much time trying to force her to be something instead of just letting her actually do the do. Like that's the thing about all the other Doctors, is that they have time to go in and basically make the character their own sort of deal, but it feels like they didn't do that with Jodie. They didn't let her do what she felt was right for her character. Yeah,
I feel like the director took her away from what she felt instinctually as an actress.
And that's kind of this is what it feels like on screen, whereas everybody else, they just do what their character feels is right. But that's just it, because Jodie's a fantastic actress.
Oh hell yeah,
like amazing actress.
Yeah, her literal first scene in Broadchurch.
Yeah. Broadchurch, just in general, just.
But
base point though.
Can we not go there, please?
Oh man, that's great.
Can you stop reminding us that exists?
All right. So, is there anything else, Late Crow? Before
one thing that did make me laugh was not even what the episode did, was what my flatmate said in response to the episode. So we got that tentacle thing. Just as soon as it appeared, my flatmate goes, "Hey, look, it's a fine spaghetti monster."
Yeah, it is.
And I'm just like, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
But yeah, I love Graham. Graham's great.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I love his reaction to things like they're running towards the alien, and he's just like, "Why are we running? Why? I don't. Okay."
Has Steven's era been retconned? Because they're all acting like aliens haven't been all over Earth.
Yeah, I feel like that's the case again.
Oh, that's dumb.
They're not even gonna do another. No more cracks. Just nope.
Yeah,
aliens. Well, that's the thing, is that it's so. Having big alien things happen on Earth all the time is really redundant and silly. So them just saying that it didn't happen, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with them thinking that, and I'm okay with them just not doing that as well, just not having big alien events happen on Earth. Because there was no reason to do it, and it makes it extremely hard for the next writer to come up and do it.
Raise the
stakes. Why they had to retcon it every time.
And look at Classic Who. Just how many times are they on present day Earth? Very, very occasionally.
Yeah, very, very few times then.
When they are and there's aliens involved, it's really covert, secret squirrel stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with 3, where he like literally had to work as a secret agent.
Exactly. Like the Daleks literally invaded Earth in modern era, but they didn't show up all that often. They were like in back alleys and underground and hidden under school stuff. They were real secret about it, like that's how it's meant to be.
Yeah.
You don't have them.
Don't do Russell's era.
CGI ships over everything.
Yeah.
You don't have random pyramids show up.
Shut up.
Yes. So you do.
Yeah. They retconned that at the end of that trilogy as well.
They did.
Oh my god.
Really
also, there's one moment that there was no, I think you touched on it earlier, but there was no she is the Doctor moment for me. Like, for example, like with Matt Smith, I mean, yes, he immediately felt like the Doctor, but he had that moment at the end when he basically verbally tells the attracts you to
when
get
he's like,
the hell
I'm
out.
7 for a bit.
Yeah. And you're just like, oof, he is the Doctor. And the music comes in with that brilliant theme, and you're like, yes. There was no yes moment for me in the story. It was a good story, but there was no stick out moment for me.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that, like, the point where she does the bomb switch over, that was a perfect time to set that up, you know? To have
Yeah.
play.
It just...
Yeah, because then she gives him an ultimatum. Give him an ultimatum.
Well, she did. She did give him an ultimatum.
Oh my god, I'm gonna hand this thing over the edge of this crane. Woo! Engaging!
Exactly. And I was like, that's not enough. You should have done something else. Like, I mean, she even says it earlier, you know, like, I won't let this happen. You know, you just needed to really ramp it up at the end and be like, I'm not going to let you take him. So either stop now or I'll stop you. And then he goes, haha, however, you can't do it. I'm going to blow you up. Oh, wait, I didn't. Oh, you blew up your own planet? Oh, I'm sorry.
Unlimited rice pudding.
That's really what it should have been. She should have had a 7 moment at the end. She should have just ranted at him.
To be honest, that's how all doctors should just verbally call off people. Just remind them 7 exists, and they'll get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, I think the Vashta-Narada. Yeah, you know, with the Vashta-Narada, I honestly think when 10's like, I'm the Doctor, look me up, and they're like, look up 7, and they're like, let's get out of Dodge, guys. I'm gonna give you a day. Now, when I say a day, I mean whatever a day is on this planet, which is a couple of years. Bye, Doctor. You have a good one. Catch you later.
Yeah, just. If anyone told me that 7 was coming off my ass, I'd be like, right, okay, here's my will, here's it.
Yeah, write a note on my chest and like stick it to my chest. Please don't also take away my family. Just me, please, 7. All right. But yes, Harriet Skelly?
Yeah, so honestly, when I first watched it, I'm just like, it's okay. That's what my immediate reaction was. I was just like, it happened. It was all right. But then, like, as you really think about it, you know that, like, the companions are fantastic. There's a whole lot of setup for a bunch more stuff. There's a lot of promise there. Really, it's just the fact that they've really tried too hard with the Jodie Doctor stuff happening, and it's just like, if they let this fall over, then they're not going to get the blame. It's going to be Jodie who gets the blame.
Yeah, that's what I'm so worried about. I was worried before this even aired, is that, like, if it sucks, it's not, everybody's going to blame Jodie, and it's not going to be her fault.
Yeah, and it really shows that they're trying too hard with Jodie's dialogue, and the way that she's being forced to act in certain ways just doesn't work for me. But I can tell that outside of this episode, we can tell that she's getting into the character and getting into the relationships between these characters because of the other stuff we see outside of this episode, just in public sort of stuff. Like, there's a fantastic, like, silly little thing they do where Graham's singing a song.
Oh, I love that.
I love that so much.
It's just like, see, this is basically what needed to happen.
And Brandon did that on his own Instagram.
Exactly. You needed it to be super silly and crazy like this, and then have the Doctor be super serious just randomly, and just be intent, crazy serious. Get the anger in her eyes sort of stuff. Like, that would have been fantastic. And because Jodie's such a great actress, she would have been able to pull it off. And it would have actually terrified small children, and I would have been okay with that.
Yeah, I want Jodie to just come in and be vicious, man. Because even the nicest doctors had vicious. Like, Five's the nicest doctor we've ever had, and even he was just like
shrinking acid on people.
Yeah.
He was effectively the master at the end of an episode. Yeah, so, come on. It's a bit like
the Doctor's an alien.
Yeah, she doesn't have to be human or positive all the way through or anything. She's not an angel of any kind, even though she fell, obviously. But you know, that's
you don't need humans. I mean, that's according to the New Who formula. That's why you've got human companions. Let the Doctor be alien.
Yeah, let her do some crazy stuff, and that would have been really fantastic. And that's basically it with the generation stories. It's right at the end they do that. You know, like, that's just how it is. Yeah,
even Tennant, like, even though I think Christmas Invasion's dumb, he still like kills a guy.
Tennant's few minutes when he's finally in the episode for once, he fights a guy and then throws him in, kills him. He has the angry look on his face, and the music because Murray Gold. Yeah, you know, they all have it. And it's really silly that, and even Peter Capaldi, who's apparently everyone hates for some reason. I don't know what that's all about. Apparently, he had that in his first episode.
I think if I'm going to kill a man, I'm going to buy him a drink. I love that scene.
It's so good. And it seems to me that Jodie's thing for this was just let down.
Yeah, that's what if we had that, would have been sweet.
Yeah, there's a moment where she's the Doctor.
Yeah. But every other element of this, other than the alien, who was a person face makeup, the story otherwise is fantastic. The companions, I love them all, and I'm really hoping to see more of them.
Yeah, I want Yaz to be expanded.
Yeah, but if Jodie doesn't come into her own, then she's going to get the blame for it for no good reason, and it's really not her fault.
Yeah, it's Chris's.
Not her fault. It's really, well, it might not even be Chris's. You know, it could, considering the kind of force that BBC have been putting on this series in general, it kind of seems like it's their fault, really. And basically, if it does turn out awful, I feel like we should all just boycott them. Just be like, no, BBC, you're not getting anything anymore. Stop it.
That's it. Yeah, and that was my plan going into this. With if Rosa, the Rosa Parks episode, I'm so glad it's just called Rosa. I'm really happy about that. If that wasn't going to be a pure historical, which thankfully they've confirmed, thank you. If that wasn't going to be a pure historical, I was going to drop out because BBC just took it too far. And their whole thing is they want to be like pushing this like massive PC culture, which is what they want Doctor Who to do. And the thing is if you're going to do Rosa Parks, you need to be serious because the world Rosa Parks lived in was one of the most dangerous times in American history, and you have to show the gravitas of that. Americans. Yeah.
You have to,
absolutely. You can't have some dumb alien turn up and be like, "I'm the reason white people are racist." Don't do that, please.
And that would kind of ruin the whole point of what you're trying to bring. So
it needs to be the villain for that is the mindset of the 50s, and that's all you need.
That is all you need.
Done.
So, especially considering you've got Graham there to be like that. That embodiment of that as well.
Yeah,
sort of. Not necessarily the embodiment, but like he needs to basically be like, hey, I'm also a white dude, but I'm cool. You know, I understand things.
Yeah, I literally married.
Especially
a black
considering
woman,
he's married a black woman. Has a step grandson that is there as well. So he's in a good place for that, but he's probably going to get raged at for being a white person, and it needs to be such. It's going to be good. I'm pretty sure it's going to be good, especially considering it's pure historical. I don't think.
Thank you, BBC, for not screwing that.
I don't think there's any way that could actually be bad now. Unless Jodie is just like written with some triple cheese. I don't think it's just
the thing is that for that story, it's going to be super hard for Jodie's Doctor because she is going to be a white woman in the 50s.
Yeah.
No matter how much of an alien she is, she looks like us. Well, we look like her rather. Yeah. And she's still going to look like a white woman, and it's still going to be the 1950s. So her having black friends is going to be bad. It's going to be mega bad.
It's going to be pretty intense.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you guys have to give it the gravitas it deserves. Rosa Parks' movement, which leads into the civil rights movement, which would go on to define a whole decade, needs to be treated with gravitas. Because if you put in cheese, this whole thing that BBC's trying to do is going to fall on its face.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's pretty much the first episode. That's sort of the feelings.
Also, half of our thoughts for episode 3.
That's just the feeling that's left behind from this episode. It's really, it leaves you uneasy for the rest of it, because it doesn't give you that good Doctor quality at the end.
Which isn't Jodie's fault. Before we get flamed in the comments, which I can totally feel already coming.
Jodie's fantastic, and she'll be a fantastic Doctor if she's allowed to be. It's just, it's a matter of it wasn't bad, but it hasn't calmed down fears.
Absolutely. So for me, this episode struck me hard, and as a byproduct of a black woman and a white man, Grace and Graham's relationship was really powerful for me. And just him losing Grace hit me harder than any death New Who's ever done. And she's in the episode for like 10 minutes, maybe 15, and I was just like,
but she's not like pieces.
And I'm just like,
she was so fleshed out.
And I'm just like, I'm so glad that them being a mixed race couple wasn't like, we're a black white couple, because I'm gonna blow your mind. My parents don't do that. And I was just like, great, this is good. So if this sort of like character quality is carried into Rosa, this will be my favorite season period of New Who. I mean, this episode's already my favorite New Who episode in terms of like quality of cinematography. The cinematography, apart from the YouTube vlogging, the cinematography is gorgeous. The color grading in that forest, I even asked my wife, like, hey babe, do you mind if I marry the color grading in this forest? And she's like, I literally don't know what that means. And I was like, that's okay. That's fine. The fact that it was
beat me to it, to be honest.
The fact that the practical effects were emphasized, thank you, BBC. Thank you. It was practical heaven. The pod was there. They didn't CGI a void ship. The void ship could have been done with a model. I was just, They had I think the main CGI element was the square triangle, the golden square triangle contract at the beginning.
Yeah.
And even that looked like it had a physical presence. It didn't look like somebody composited CGI over the shot. It looked gorgeous. I was like, ooh.
It was the way that they designed it. It looked like lights. Yeah, like actual just physical lights.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably practical effects being used on set as well.
Yeah.
It looked like a hologram.
Yeah.
But that's what CGI is perfect for, because literally that's what holograms would look like.
Yeah.
Like CG.
Like CG.
So that's a perfect use of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
The Ouroboros creature was practical meets CG, which is what we've been complaining about on this podcast since we started covering New Who. Practical effects, please, because you feel invested. Because our brain does this thing where it says, that's not real. Thanks, brain. Thank you. It goes, oh, that's not real, my bro. And I'm just like, awesome, great. I mean, it's important because like it helps us like IRL. But when I'm watching something, I can't. Please, brain, don't tell me how fake that is. So for it to be a practical effect where elements of its movement and its lighting are CG, is great. Like, reminds me of Minas Tirith. So I'm just like, cool, that's good. The alien, that suit was awesome. I was like, when he like was there, my wife was like, is that Doom Guy? And I was like, yes, that is Doom Guy. And Doom Guy stood up and he was like, hey, I'm Doom Guy. At first I was like, he's going to be the person that helps the crew kill the snake monster. But then when they were working together, I was like, well played. I wish he didn't take the mask off.
Yeah, or if he did take the mask off, he should have been made of teeth.
Yeah, should have been like, just something that made him not look human. The Predator doesn't look like us. He has a humanoid figure, but when he takes that mask off, Arnie and the audience are like, whoa! And Arnie says what we're all thinking in that scene. You one ugly mofo? And he's like, man, on my planet, I'm handsome, alright?
Yeah, the thing about the Predator, though, and specifically, when it comes to in the background, they filmed the Predator without knowing what the character was going to be, right? And that's the perfect sort of way to do it. Is you do all that stuff and then decide effectively what that's going to kind of look like. But really, they've because they obviously had a lot less time, they could have just kept the suit stuff. Like, there's no reason
keep him in the suit.
Do that. And then
take away the fact he's speaking English, please.
Well, the TARDIS isn't there, I guess.
Yeah, the TARDIS isn't there,
but it's close enough.
But if he had designated Earth as his target, then maybe he would have done something with his suit that made him speak English. I don't know.
Yeah, if they've been going to Earth for thousands of years to kidnap people.
Yeah, alright, fine.
Imagine that they speak English. But at the same time, it is kind of silly that he does at the same time. But
it would have been great if it was just only the Doctor knew what they're saying, because then you could have Graham go, anybody catch that? And I'm like, yes. Yeah. Thank you so much. At the same time,
there was that.
And then someone goes, come on, Graham, get up with the chase.
Yeah.
And then you can get rid of that silly dialogue between him and the Mulder character. Just get rid of that completely because he doesn't speak English. So he would yell, "What happened to my sister?" And it'd be like, I don't know.
And he'd be like, and it would be great for the actor to work with, because it's like I could never know.
Yeah.
And that shock of realization on his face, I can never ever know,
because it doesn't even speak English.
And then boom,
it would have been good.
The way it's so much better,
right? But the way the creature kills is Jonathan Nathan Turner territory. It's just like, so he freezes their face solid like T-1000 in Terminator 2, and then rips off their jaw. Yep. Yes. Thank you. Death has gravity now. Please leave Grace dead.
Oh yeah.
Because you have made Doctor Who have stakes again for the first time since it apparently came back in 2005. I think that's fan fiction, alright? It came back this year, last Monday or Sunday, wherever you live in the world.
It's been cancelled for so long.
Yeah, it's been cancelled since 1989. They weren't dressed for the occasion.
That's fan fiction. Why have we been covering it for the last few weeks?
Oh, well, some wanker thought it was canon, and it's not my fault.
It's still canon.
Yeah. But is it though? So bringing gravity back is important. Right? Have characters die. It's like when Jonathan Nathan Turner was like, everything feels too safe. Let's kill Adric. It's like, whoa, he's a kid. He's actually a child.
And not just like he's cut out of the show. Like he's dead.
Yeah. Like Sarah Kingdom.
He's doing like a temporal event.
Yeah.
Well.
It's like
there's no way for him to come back.
Death with it have being final in Classic Who led to some really important moments. Like, I know you're not a fan of old Steven Taylor, but when at the end of the massacre, he's like, I lost Katrina, we lost Sarah, and like they super mega lost Sarah. She was turned into literal dust. And Katrina died horribly as well. She went out into space.
Yeah.
Like, just wow.
She did not understand.
Yeah, she just didn't get it. She's like, oh, I'll go join the gods. The mum's like, about that though.
She's with the gods now.
Yeah, she's with the gods now. And one's like, I secretly know that's not true. You know, and Steven's just like, I'm sick of it. I don't care where we land next. I'm going. And like, that speech the doctor gives at the end of the massacre is like, they don't get it. They don't get it. Like, I am the last line of defense for the innocent. And that's the doctor. And then even further down the line, where you look at Tegan's leaving as well, which I mean, hashtag plugging an older episode, hashtag she's my favorite companion. When she just looks at the doctor and she's just like, it stopped being fun.
Yeah.
And Tegan had tried to leave the doctor for ages. He was like a curse to her. She even gets possessed by a demon, man. Like, actually possessed by a demon. Yeah. She goes through so much shit. And like, death's finality has been an important aspect of human culture since day dot. Yeah. Taking away the fact people die in Doctor Who just made it suck. Doctor Who sucked as a result. And like, for this to be just so final was incredible.
It's to have proper consequences.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be that people die, but it just has to have some sort of consequence.
Yeah.
And the New Who that we've had just had not had any consequence whatsoever. Not only did people just not die, but nothing bad happened in general.
Yeah. The doctor waved a stick and it was fine.
Aliens could show up and destroy shitloads of stuff all over planet Earth, but then the doctor showed up and fixed it all. No ifs, buts, and maybes, you know? Like, it's just how it was. So much so that even other human characters within the world just thought that the doctor showed up and fixed everything all the time. It's just what they expected. And that's basically it, you know? Yeah. That's what New about. But that's what this episode has changed, is that there are consequences now. The doctor can't fix everything all the time. And
I'll just sonic screwdriver his jaw back onto his frozen face.
Yeah, exactly. And it brings that to it. Obviously, the sonic screwdriver's still in there, which is
I was so hoping that it just, but it was in the marketing material. But I just wanted to just not be there. Yeah, I'm sick of the Sonic.
I love the fact that she built it. It's a tool that she made in on-screen sort of stuff. The sequence that happens was awful.
Yeah, it was very cartoony.
It's also just not timed right. Like,
in about a quarter of an hour, she made one of the most powerful tools in all of creation.
Exactly. And she did it with like a piece of a teleporter and some spoons. And it's like, no, that's not how that works. It's not a... that makes it seem like a magic wand more than anything else that we've seen. Like, more than any other of the New Who episodes that we've ever watched, the fact that she made it out of a teleporter and some spoons makes it more of a magic wand than anything else, basically, and it's awful. But she does use it in less of a magic wandy way, which is nice.
I like that she also explained how she was getting the information.
Yeah.
They were like, how do you do it? She was like, oh, here, I've made a display that I understand. And I'm like, cool, awesome. Because 10, 11, 12 Sonic, how do they get the info out of it?
Yeah, no, they don't.
Just look at it.
Yeah, oh, hey, it did the thing.
Yeah, so it's
different case, new same software. Shut up, 50th, please. I can't wait for the 60th to come out and be good. Please be good, Chris. I trust you so much.
Yeah. So yeah, the screwdriver is a positive and a negative for me at this point. But I think that it could work if he knows how to use it properly. If he knows how to write it, basically just like write it out a bunch of times. Yeah. Have it like be broken or whatever. And the fact that she can actually add on to that as well. That because it's a self-made sonic screwdriver, it doesn't work as well all the time, you know? Especially considering how often the doctor just makes shit that doesn't work. So, you know. So it's perfect for that. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. But we have been on this episode.
Yeah, we do need to move on, but I just want to say that like the industrial feel of this episode, because it was extremely industrial, reminded me of 3. And I was like, that's a positive. That's a net win for everybody. So there we go. So let's jump into the second story for the time. The last some time. So a young lady and her dad are working at this thing. Her dad's like, hey, you should be interested in my scientific field because your mum's scientific field's dumb. And she's like, actually, what if I liked both?
Astrochemistry is a thing.
Yeah. And then the dad's like, hey, we're looking at...
He's operating a what telescope? What kind of telescope?
Radio telescope.
Radio telescope, which often picks up chemical elements as well.
Yeah, exactly. Why didn't he just work at Theros? Anyone's confused about that?
Anyway.
So they're like, oh, cool, Dad, that's awesome. He's like, hey, some stuff's happening. So they go outside and these like CGI balls are like, we're also here too, guys. And they fly around in the sky and they're like, we are considered important parts of this narrative. We'll never appear again except for 2 minutes in part 2. And then they disappear. And he's like, oh man, you've gone off into the forest. I'm gonna leave my child in the middle of a forest, I might add, alone.
No, she was still by the telescope.
Oh my god, it's the middle of a forest, man. I'm gonna leave my kid alone in the middle of a forest, regardless of where we're next to a
Don't
telescope.
follow me. Stay where you are.
Yeah, stay right there. Even though
I'm gonna stay here.
I don't know if this is such a good idea. So he runs off and he's like, "Ah!" The daughter's like, I'm gonna do that thing my dad told me not to do because I'm a kid. Oh no, Dad, where are you? And then she's like, my favorite is the actress screams before she turns and sees the scary thing. I was like, was that just me? I rewound that 3 or 4 times. I was like, she's screaming before she has any reason to. It's so amazing. I was like, that's bad directing.
She was screaming about being in this episode.
Yeah. She was like, why couldn't I be part of the main cast? They're getting rid of one of them. Then it cuts over to Maria and Sarah looking up at the sky, and Sarah's like, I'm going to be a dick in this episode for no reason. And Maria's like, okay. And she goes back home. She's like, Dad, nothing you could tell me could change our lives. And he goes, we need to move to America. And she's like, I completely disagree with my past self. That fully changes everything.
I kind of feel like what actually happened was he was like, there's no reason why I'd move. I wouldn't do it ever. And then there's a big check on this thing that just says $1 million. Yeah, we're moving to America.
We're moving to America. You need to not be in the show anymore, and that means your parents need to get written out. Yeah. Oh, man, I liked Maria, so I was pretty sad when they're like, we're gonna get rid of Maria and Ellen. I was like, no! Ellen's the best character! No!
It's also so brutal considering that she's like the main character from the beginning.
Yeah, she is the main character from the beginning.
Yeah, so it's weird that she just gets randomly cut out. I don't understand.
Anyway, yeah, that was really strange. I think maybe the actress needed to leave. Actually, let's just roll down to story notes real quick. Actress Yasmin Page she was studying to get into uni.
Okay, fair enough.
That's fair.
Okay, cool. But they're really young. Oh no, she was studying to get into a private high school.
Fair enough.
Well, just a bit showing off there, Yasmin. All right. So Maria Jackson.
She just got killed off, and we just had Ellen instead.
Oh no, that's ruthless. Oh my god, that
would have been really brutal. But I think
but I'm totally on board.
Straight up killed her.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, and then he's all like, I hate aliens, and then he starts using Mr. Smith to hunt aliens. Oh my god. Yes. Oh, yes. Alan becomes Absalom Dark, but on TV. I'm so keen. Anyway, that fanfiction never happened, but I so wish it did. As you can tell, we're stalling here. So, they're like, the next day, Maria comes over and she's like, I'm really going to miss you guys. I'm just like, just tell them straight up. Like, if I was had to move, I'd walk into my friend's house and be like, bro, I have to move. And they're like, oh, that's real sad. But instead, she's like, being real cryptic about it. I'm like, has Maria been cryptic about it? I swear, Maria's been straight up in the past. Like, her very first episode, she goes up to Sarah Jane and was like, I saw the alien. Sarah Jane's like, wasn't expecting that.
It's so weird that she's just real cryptic.
Yeah, she's super mega. It's so dumb.
And the thing is, they have alien technology. Being in America isn't going to stop them from being friends.
Exactly.
I don't understand that.
Skype existed at this point too.
Already. And they've got Mr. Smith, who could probably do Ultra Skype.
I'm just going to hologram Maria into the house so you guys can hang out. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, Mr. Smith. I'm not evil anymore, guys. I'm not evil anymore. Oh, I do wish they saved that reveal for later in the series when Mr. Smith was like, I've been evil this whole time. At the end of season 1 was pretty awesome. I'm actually the bad guy until Alan reprograms me. Alan, how do you know alien technology? He's Jeff Goldblum, confirmed. So
why Alan should have stayed in it. That's why he should have.
I like Alan. So Maria Jackson's like, hey guys, I'm being real super cryptic, and they're like, oh man, that's interesting. And Sarah Jane's like, hey guys, there were lights seen at this place. And I was like, how? The lights were on a ground level surrounded by trees. What? What? So they turn up at the place, and Maria's all like, man, I'm so sad and stuff. And the boys go, we're gonna go look around and stuff. And then Sarah Jane's like, Maria, I'm a journalist and an adult. I think you need to tell me something. Maria goes, I'm moving to America. Sarah Jane goes, I'm no longer an adult. I'm an inconsolable child now for some reason. And then Elizabeth Sladen was replaced by a cardboard cutout of Elizabeth Sladen.
I don't know what was happening.
Yeah, it was awful. So bad.
I feel like she was being blackmailed by the director. I don't feel like she would have really wanted to do this.
Yeah. You better be angry at a child, Elizabeth. What? Why? You better do it. I'm going to release these photos of you eating 7 hot dogs at once. No! I'll do it, director. You're damn right you will, kid. This is America. Kermit the Frog comes in. I'm actually a Thumparian. So
that's literally what happens.
It's canon. So anyway, the daughter runs in and she's like, Father! She got lightning zapped by the Emperor. Father, I'm there! And then she's like,
casual reference to the IT crowd.
And then Sarah Jane's just like, oh, father, put that on. Son, you better not watch this in front of people. No, father, I need to share this with my friends. So I committed fraud. Anyway. Yeah, so
we just don't want to do this.
Yeah, so she's all like, oh my gosh. And then Sarah Jane goes, why don't you just come back here straight away and lock yourself in and keep yourself safe instead of running? How did you survive this whole night when he's a highly advanced alien warrior who has Kamehameha balls that fly around the sky? And she's like, you know what, Sarah, I'd love to explain that, but the directors told me not to because he also has pictures of me eating 17 hot dogs at once. So off screen, she knows the Kaioken and the Genki Dama.
Also, I'm very obviously an inside agent.
Yeah. So she's all, yeah. Oh man, my favorite is when she goes, "Does that mean my dad's still out there?" And her voice is really like worried, but her face is like, "I am a human." And I was like, "Oh, this poor actress. No wonder she didn't replace Maria." So she's all like, "Hey, cool. This is great. Oh, save my dad." And the boys are like, "Do you ever get that feeling you're being watched?" And Luke and Clyde are like, "God damn. I know we're in that scene in Predator." And then Predator turns up and goes, "Oh guys, it's me, Predator." And then he takes off his mask and goes, "I'm Kermit the Frog." But no, what's actually happening is there's a Sontaran who's been a Predator. We don't plan this, guys. Well, I don't know how this keeps happening, but there was a Predator.
Really Predator though.
Yeah, but he had the invisible suit and the whole like hiding in the forest thing.
That's about it though.
Yeah.
You know.
Also, the woman who fell to Earth also had a Predator-like character, so it's great. So Luke and Clyde are like, "Oh, we got to get out of here." And he's like, "I'm going to miss." And I'm like, "How? How? The last story you were in, you massacred the unit forces. How are you missing kids?" This episode's so dumb.
Fantastic warriors.
Yeah.
The greatest warriors of all.
Yeah.
Can't shoot kids.
Can't shoot kids. So the dad turns up and he's like, "Hey, I'm the dad character." And Sarah Jane's like, "Hello, I'm the wooden adult character in this episode." "That's great. I love my daughter. You can go now." And Sarah Jane's like, "Correct." So she walks out with Maria. The boys are like, "Sarah Jane, there's a thingamaloogie thingamabob." And Sarah Jane's like, "I know. And the dad's acting real strange in there, kids. Let's go back inside. Hey, I think you're evil." And the dad's like, "Well, you're right. I'm evil." And then the Sontaran is like, "I'm also here too, guys." And the Sontaran's like, "You are a female. And you are a halfling, which is dumb because I'm genderless and short." So,
and I don't have a kid form.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. So I just don't get it. And
why am I speaking English?
Yeah, everybody's so bad and evil. I'm a Sontaran. And then Sarah Jane's like, "No, the Sontarans, they're really mega evil and stuff. And I fought them twice before. Operation Nerva. That other time when I went back to the 12th century, I've seen them heaps. This is too big for us. We need a unit."
It's really sad that this one isn't.
Yeah. And then she's like, "Man, I'm so worried." And then they're like, "Oh no, the dad's gonna program all these satellites to fall instead of chain reactions. So I'm gonna blow your mind here, guys. That's not how that works. I'm not even a scientist and I know that."
Well, okay. So the way that they go about getting these satellites, no, absolutely not. The only way that they do that stuff is because over time satellites will degrade in their orbit, and then eventually they will have to push them slightly into the water. That's about it. They don't have enough energy to actually like target specific locations.
Yeah, so it was pretty dumb. I was like, "Oh, this is dumb." And then the dad's like, "Torchwood outside the government, beyond the police," and he's like calculating all the stuff. And then Gwen's like, "Bloody hell, Owen!" And then Owen's like, "Bloody hell, Gwen!" And then they somersault around the screen and they start ninja battling clones. That's not what actually happened. But the Sontaran's like, "I'm so uninteresting. We're going to run around this base for a good 15 minutes. So they run around the base, and then Maria and Luke are like, "Guys, we're gonna go to the Sontaran ship." Then Luke goes to the Sontaran ship and he's like, "Hey, they got these chemicals here that can make a knockout gas." Surprisingly, Mr. Smith's chemical classes are better than the ones at school. And I was like, then why didn't you just go with the homeschooling like Sarah Jane suggested? So he's all like, and Maria's like, "Luke, I need to tell you something." And Luke's like, "Yeah, what's good?" Maria's like, "I need to leave and go to America." And Luke's like, "But you're my friend and I don't want to lose you." And she's like, "How is the strange, weird, made in a Coke machine boy more of a human than Sarah Jane Smith?"
Yeah, and I love how he's like urgently trying to rig up this potion that will stop the Sontaran. And that's when she decides that she's going to have a moment with them.
And the best bit is about
I'm trying to save the world.
Yeah.
Stop interrupting me.
Yeah, I love that at the end after Maria's done her sad pandas bit, she's all like, "No, you gotta go make that knockout gas." And Luke should have just gone, "That's literally what I was doing."
Were you following? I mean, I know you're real sad and stuff, but maybe your brain's not functioning right now. Maria, you feeling all right? And Maria's like, "Bloody hell, Luke." So he makes the knockout gas, and the mum, they go, "Hey Dad, can you tell us how to defeat the Sontarans?" And I'm like, doesn't Sarah Jane Smith know how to do that?
Well, it's not Sarah Jane Smith in this episode, so fair.
Yeah,
call.
oh yeah, cut out Sarah Jane Smith. I'm a human.
There's 11.
Yeah, man, those hot dogs. That's some strange blackmail right there. So the dad's like, "Hey, Mr. Smith, I need you." And Mr. Smith's like, "Doodle-doo, doodle-doo." And then the mum goes, "What the bloody hell's going on here?" And then he goes, "Oh, it's a treasure hunter game." And she's like, "I don't believe you." And then somehow she's a different character and she's like, works shit out. And I was like, did season 1 not happen?
No, it didn't.
They're doing a Torchwood season 1.
Yeah, season 1 didn't happen. So she's like, "I figured everything out. You're lying. My daughter fights aliens." And he's like, okay, that's the case. So they go off into the woods, and like an bloody hell, Gwen, and like an idiot, she's walking around in heels and complaining. I'm like, your daughter is in grave danger, and you're complaining about your heels? Shut up, you awful character.
She suddenly went back to being her old character.
Yeah, she's like, "I'm season 1 me again." I'm like, why are you season 1 you again? Nobody likes season 1 you. So she takes off her heels and she's like, "Oh, it's significantly easy to do this." And I was like, "You should have just had shoes." Like, I just
No, they need the heels to do.
yeah, I know. So the Sontarans are like, "Man, you guys are actually pretty good." I suppose it's just because I'm a shitty Sontaran. My face is all broken up. Hey, my ship got sent off course. I'm the last survivor, and there was an explosion and stuff, and I was sad and angry, and I don't like the doctor. Sarah Jane's like, "My friend's the doctor." And he's like, "Well, that's a cool story. You're a poo head. Yeah, take that." And so she's like, aren't you meant to be like Super Saiyan alien things? Well, you know what? Shut up. So he's all getting sad, and then he's like, "I'm gonna kill both of you guys. I mean, by both, I mean every single one of you. I'm a Sontaran." And the mum's like, "Take my number 5, you dumbo." Smashes it into his vent, and he should die.
Yeah,
he should die.
Should have been mega dead.
Yeah,
she stuffed her heel right in there. Like,
yeah,
he would be dead.
Yeah, he'd be super mega not alive. And then she's like, "I'm getting lightning zapped. Oh my god, this didn't happen to Donna when she smashed the thing in the back of the neck, so I don't know what's happening to me." Oh, and she smashes into this thing and knocks herself out. And I'm just like, if you're not going to use that as a dumb get out of jail free card, why did you do that to her? So they try to use it as a dumb get. Yeah, they try to use a dumb get out of jail free card, and then Luke's knockout gas is used to knock her back out. And I'm like, why did he make the knockout gas and spend this whole big time on it if it wasn't ever going to be useful in the plot? Because it just wasn't.
Also, while we're talking about the knockout gas, if it was designed to knock out a Sontaran, what the hell is it going to do to a human?
Yeah.
So he said before that it was enough to knock out a person for a certain amount of time. So I was hoping that it would also work on a Sontaran.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention to the story, sorry.
No.
Neither was the writer.
Either, but I got that part. Yeah. I normally get it when there's... I normally like pay attention when there's science stuff happening. And when there is science stuff happening, I'm normally... Oh god, this is awful.
Yeah, what have I done?
You regret paying attention.
Why do I watch the show again? So the Sontaran's like, and Sarah Jane's like, "You need to go leave this planet." And he's like, "I'm totally going to do that. Even though I've got no reason to do that. I could just betray you right now for some reason."
Well, she took off all his weapons.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
She's like, "Just go. And I won't have to deal with you later."
Yeah.
And he's just like, I could just come back. Like,
yeah, which is what I would just do.
All of you. So, I don't know. So also, his ship, I imagine, once it's in orbit, would be able to do the same thing that the telescope was meant to do. So seems like a poor decision.
Yeah, but, I'm just gonna just drop all these anyway. Bye. So and that was the end. And everybody's like, "Yay, we did it!" And Maria's like, "I gotta go now." And Alan's like, "Unfortunately, so do I. Bye." And then the mum's all like, "I'm here too, and I remember everything." Mary Jane. Why do they keep saying that in a kid show? So they fly off. and that's the end of the story. So who wants to go first? Harry's going.
It was awful. Don't watch it.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was actually like terribly awful. Actually, like I don't get it. I don't know what happened. Like it was the season 1 was good. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, season 1 was good. I'm so confused.
And they could have done so much good stuff with there being a single Sontaran, especially when she starts yelling about like going to get Unit, and I'm like jumping in my seat, going like, "Yes, please go get Unit. This would be great. This would be fantastic if you did that." So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts. Really, is they're kicking out some of the greatest parts of the greatest parts of the story. They're kicking out of getting rid of. Obviously, they couldn't do much about Maria, but they could have kept Ellen. But they still just like let everything else go because of it. Like, there's a whole bunch of people who don't act in character.
What was Elizabeth Sladen doing the story, man? Whoa,
weird. Like, just suddenly is a completely different person. It was so odd.
I felt like Russell was like, "Ooh, she's different again."
Yeah, and Maria's being a different person as well, acting completely out of character again.
I'm cryptic.
being all cryptic and then like being all sad about it and then like not saying anything and then interrupting Lucas trying to actually save the world sort of stuff. Like you could have just held on to this for a little bit longer. You know, you didn't have to say it right then. He's pretty oblivious, so it would have been fine. The Sontaran doesn't make sense. I like how they like turn the Sontar thing away from its silly Helen Raynor stuff, and into that's just a thing that they do. That they're like it's like a cheer that they have instead with being real happy with themselves. That makes way more sense than having that.
I like the Sontaran actor, if I'm being honest. I think it was cool.
He was actually pretty good as a Sontaran, but just the other silly Sontaran things don't make sense. Really, what it should have been about is him turning the radio telescope into a radio transmitter that could send more messages to Sontar to tell them, hey, we got defeated, come blow up Earth.
Damn.
That's kind of what they do.
That's a way better story.
And that's pretty much the first Sontaran story in a nutshell. So, I mean, that just would have been way better. And then having units show up as well, that would have been so cool. Oh my god.
Yeah, the brig is like, hey, I don't know why I'm not a new Who for some reason. And then when I pass away, it's too late.
That is way too late. But then, the random fact that she doesn't actually kill us, jams her chew right into the back of his head. Yeah. Like, that should have gone into his brain. Yeah. That's how long that thing was. Like,
he should be dead.
Mega ultra dead. And it's really sad that he's not.
Yeah. Because then it would have been like, with her, like, witnessing what she did, and then we could have had, like, a character revelation moment for her, because she doesn't grow at all in the whole show.
So her having this be her episode to actually grow as a character would have been fantastic. But that's not what happened. She acted as a completely different character in the beginning, goes back to being the same character in the middle, and then at the end she's like, hey, I remember stuff, but I still haven't changed as a person. It's like, what?
How? No, not the mind probe.
Exactly. So it's, the story is all over the place. Really don't watch it unless you're a kid. And even if you're a kid, I would honestly suggest there's other
just go watch Doctor Who.
Just go watch Doctor Who. It's way better.
Just don't watch Helen Raynor's episode.
Yeah. Oh my! No, don't please.
And that's pretty much it. And then the next time on Sarah Jane Smith Adventures, it's clowns and
Bradley Walsh is in it.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. But I'm not going to be around for that one. So
wait, what?
No, he's going to be on literally the other side of the Earth. So
I'm on the other side of the planet. So I won't be doing for that. But have fun with it.
Yeah. It's going to be great. It's going to be so great. Can't wait. All right, guys. Well, we'll catch you in part B.
Can I have my thoughts?
I'm so sorry. I was just so over this episode. I'm so unbelievably sorry. Your thoughts, the Late Crow.
I mean...
oh my god, this episode sucks.
You're doing a terrible host.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I woke up literally 10 minutes before we started recording, so...
That's normally me, but I didn't work night for last night, so I'm wide awake this time. Anyway, so my thoughts are pretty similar to you guys. It's god-awful. There are a number of moments when the Sontaran's doing it's like almost Scooby-Doo chasing the kids around the factory.
Oh, when he's like trying to knock on their door, just shoot it down!
Yeah.
But I was just like, okay, these kids could manage to push it open. Surely you can. It's,
we gotta find the Scooby's snack.
There's a moment where Clyde manages to just shove his way out of the Sontaran's arms. It's like, no.
Yeah, no way.
He's a genetically modified super soldier from the far future.
Yeah, no. Absolute.
I mean, listen, this Clyde's been taking some serious steps. What's happening?
Yeah, hashtag Clyde's actually taking substances.
That's what the season's all about, eh?
Clyde's been taking alien cocaine.
That's why they keep referencing Mary Jane.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Done.
Let's get past it. It's awful. Don't watch it. Echoing what everyone else said. Moving on. Done.
Awesome.
Cool. Good stuff.
Alrighty. Okay, guys. Well, I'm real sorry there, Late Crow. I don't know. I'm so sorry. But we're going to jump over to part B.